Article 245 of the Constitution wanted to remove the possibility of any person, not just a cabinet secretary, a senator, a president, and any other person would direct investigations into any matter outside the authority of the National Police Service and the Inspector General himself. That is why the only exception given, Mr. Speaker, is the office of the DPP, who can give directions to the IG to carry out investigations. So I want to correct that impression. It doesn't mean that I don't have an eye to make sure that there's a policy framework where police brutality must be dealt with in the country, that we must deal with issues related to abductions, Mr. Speaker, that we must deal with issues, Mr. Speaker, that are related to extrajudicial killings, among others. That is a responsibility that not just the Cabinet Secretary, but also the National Security Council, as everybody has said here, carries out an oversight responsibility on that matter. I want to correct that impression because I saw everybody was riding on that particular section of Article 245. And if I may read again, Mr. Speaker, it says that no person may give a direction to the Inspector General with respect to the investigation of any particular offences, the enforcement of the law against any particular person or persons. But enforcement of the law generally, I can give directions policy-wise. Investigations generally to acts or resurgence of certain acts or omissions, Mr. Speaker, or offenses, Mr. Speaker, I can be able to give that direction. But I cannot wake up here and say, Senator Eddie be investigated, or Senator so-and-so. That is what Kenyans were running away from. Number two, Mr. Speaker, is to say that it is also not right for me, under the same article, to give direction as to the employment, assignment, promotion, suspension, or dismissal of any person who works in the National Police Service. Again, the people of Kenya wanted to remove a situation where political leaders, including the Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Speaker, would use their position to determine whether a police officer will be transferred, will be promoted, will be fired, will be hired. Mr. Speaker, that was the intention of the people of Kenya, to insulate the National Police Service and to make sure that it's an independent institution. But that does not mean that under policy direction, we cannot tell the Inspector General that any person who is found committing an offense must be removed. That is a policy direction, but not to superintend upon the rules of the IG by picking on specific officers to say, arrest this or leave this other person. If that clarity is achieved, Mr. Speaker, then Mr. Speaker, the problem that people had, including Senator Khalwale, on the question of I do not have an eye. I do not have an eye constitutionally of superintending upon specific investigations, but I have an eye of ensuring that the National Police Service operate under the Constitution and the law, Mr. Speaker. I needed to make sure that I clear that issue. On the other issues, Mr. Speaker, I saw my friend Senator Khalwale had said, Mr. Speaker, because of that Article 245 of the Constitution, therefore, Mr. Speaker, I should abdicate my responsibility. Mr. Speaker, like has been said by many senators here, Senator Kajwang, Senator Kio, Mr. Speaker, on my position, and they have said what I did when I was in this House. My position has never changed, Mr. Speaker. I am, as like the Caleb in the Bible said, I am as strong as I was 5 years ago. Mr. Speaker, my position on the issues of brutality, my position, Mr. Speaker, on anything extrajudicial killings, my position, Mr. Speaker, on matters abductions remain the same position I had in this office, in this Senate. Mr. Speaker, let me say how. Mr. Speaker, when I go to office, I made sure that on the question, and you know, some people speak as though I've been in this office for 6 months. Mr. Speaker, I'm not yet even 6 months since I joined this office, but I'm glad that many people have expectation in me. I know even of a particular senator, Mr. Speaker, who never even waited for 2 months, whose natural national chorus is Murkomen must resign, Murkomen must be fired. Mr. Speaker, even when I was 2 months to the office, that was the song he was singing. Mr. Speaker, I am used to that song. But the point I want to make is that as a cabinet secretary, Mr. Speaker, when I go to office, I know, Mr. Speaker, for sure that there were challenges in our National Police Service. Mr. Speaker, in any case, the statement you have asked me to come and answer today, if it were not for the issue of Albert Kachwang, is in relation to last year's unfortunate incidents that happened on 25th of June. Mr. Speaker, where a number of cases are under investigations. Mr. Speaker, a few years ago, the question of Baby Pendo. Mr. Speaker, a few years ago, the question of Khalwale. Mr. Speaker, I disclose here that Lawyer Kimani was my friend. I knew him. Mr. Speaker, in all those investigations, Mr. Speaker, the Independent Police Oversight Authority did their job. Even as Senator Metu was saying, there might be a cover-up. In the case of Senator Kimani, because I follow, Wakili Kimani, in that particular case, Mr. Speaker, there was an attempt to cover up. But, Mr. Speaker, because of the work that IPOA did, 6 police officers are now, Mr. Speaker, on the queue waiting to be hanged because of what they did to kill a lawyer, Mr. Speaker, whose job was only to defend his client. Mr. Speaker, therefore, there is enough precedent to deal with matters that are related to police brutality and extrajudicial killing. Mr. Speaker, I personally, even though I am not part and parcel of this investigation, I have no doubt in my mind, Mr. Speaker, that if the speed that IPOA is using and the Corporation National Police Service is giving, Mr. Speaker, that the perpetrators of this heinous act against Albert, Mr. Speaker, will be brought to book. And, Mr. Speaker, I have no doubt in my mind that if our judiciary, working closely with the DPP and the investigators, these people will just follow the same route that other police officers in the past have followed who have committed this heinous act. I wanted to give that assurance to the people of Kenya. And the Kipchumba of that time is the same one. Mr. Speaker, I went to Nakuru. Brian Odhiambo, his mother confronted me because Brian Odhiambo was kidnapped and taken to, I think it was National Park. Mr. Speaker, the investigations have stopped. The arrest was not happening. But, Mr. Speaker, when I came back, I told the investigation authorities it's your responsibility to make sure that those who have participated in the kidnapping of Brian Odhiambo must be brought to book. Mr. Speaker, as a result of that pressure I put in as a cabinet secretary, those people were charged in the court in Nakuru. Mr. Speaker, on matters of abductions, since I entered office, I have been very vocal, Mr. Speaker, including an investigation that is ongoing regarding a member of parliament. And, Mr. Speaker, we will unearth all those cases of abductions. Mr. Speaker, when we came to office, even though I was not a cabinet secretary, Mr. Speaker, the president gave directions to the country during campaign and after we came to office that he does not want to see extrajudicial killing. He doesn't want to see bodies in River Yala. He doesn't want to see bodies in River Tana. He doesn't want to see bodies in Abadeas of people who have been abducted and killed. Mr. Speaker, we may not have exterminated completely these criminals who are doing these acts. But, Mr. Speaker, I can tell you there is no systematic or planned such acts in government. And, Mr. Speaker, there is not by accident that as this administration came to office, there are no bodies that are found in River Yala or River Tana, Mr. Speaker. Why? Because we took a stand position, Mr. Speaker, and we'll continue in that direction. And, Mr. Speaker, I am glad that now we enjoy this level of democracy and freedom to speak. Even those who presided over the ministry when bodies were floating in River Yala, Mr. Speaker, now have the freedom to call us into order. And, Mr. Speaker, it is because they know this is a government that is responsive to the things that the people of Kenya are asking for. And I want to assure the nation that I am the same Kipchumba who was a valiant soldier in this house. I will use the same vigor, Mr. Speaker, to exterminate all kinds of, Mr. Speaker, criminal activities within the police. And the police know. And I have told them clearly, in all the forum, Mr. Speaker, I established what is called Jukwaa la Usalama. In this Jukwaa la Usalama, all the OCSs attend the meeting. In every county, Mr. Speaker, we've completed Coast and Eastern 14 counties. Mr. Speaker, in all those forums, I want to assure the House that as a cabinet secretary, I have told the police officer in no uncertain terms that anybody who is going to be found to carry out such kind of extrajudicial killing will carry their burden. Let me come to the specific questions, Mr. Speaker, that touched on me. Number one, Mr. Speaker, that was the first question by Senator Khalwale. Mr. Speaker, there is Senator Kajwang asked Mr. Speaker about, again, and I've responded to that question generally about my record and so forth. Mr. Speaker, on the extrajudicial killings, Senator also Kajwang asked Mr. Speaker whether I have given any policy directions related to, Mr. Speaker, this issue of Mr. Speaker, how to handle an arrested person. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the, let me just refer to this. If you look at the police standing orders, Mr. Speaker, at the moment, Mr. Speaker, and I don't want to read so that I give time to everybody to respond because it's a long list, maybe I'll table later. The police standing orders already prescribe and provide, Mr. Speaker, how to handle a police officer, including before you book in, not a police officer, a suspect. Before you book in a suspect, you must confirm that he was in good health or not, Mr. Speaker. And those regulations...
Honorable Senators, he has just said he will table, but
yes,
he wants to pick a few statements from
yes,
before he does that.
So, Mr. Speaker, it says that the guidelines, Mr. Speaker, require that you must determine the health and general conditions of the suspect. Every arrested person shall be granted police bond and bail at the earliest opportunity. All suspects must undergo mental and physical health screening at the time of booking. The suspect must be immediately booked upon arrest and entry record in the occurrence book. All movements of the suspect into and out of the cell must be recorded in the OB. And if you had the investigations that are ongoing, they are telling us when he was booked in, when he was removed, Mr. Speaker, and that will assist the IPOA in the investigations, that occurrence book. Mr. Speaker, police cells must not be overcrowded. Space per detainee must conform to minimum standards. The booking officer must inform the suspect of their basic rights. Communication must suspect all this. It is not the absence of the legal framework or policy directions that led to the killing of Mr. Albert Ojwang, Mr. Speaker. It is blatant disregard of the law and the Constitution. And that's why we are not coming here to give excuses that it is in the absence of a policy direction from the ministry. No, Mr. Speaker, it is just blatant disregard. If you see how that gentleman was beaten, Mr. Speaker, the person who did it is an animal. And it calls upon all of us to say that that person must face justice, and it at the shortest time possible, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, there is absolutely no reason on my side, Mr. Speaker, to try to hide anything, Mr. Speaker, because that investigations, as I said earlier, covering other previous police officers have led to them being held into account. Mr. Speaker, Senator Mungatana asked the question of training of police officers on the questions of human rights. I must confirm here that there has been progressive growth in terms of training of police officers. However, Mr. Speaker, the truth is that because of lack of resources, Mr. Speaker, our police officers, last training they have is the day they were recruited, Mr. Speaker. Only those in the higher cadre, Mr. Speaker, and all who sometimes get to go to promotion get to be trained, but a large number of our police officers do not get to go through this promotion. And therefore, one of the things that the National Police Service has been pushing, and we will push with them, and I will help them push this issue, is to make sure that budgetary allocation is provided, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that the police get money to continuous training and updating their knowledge on human rights. Mr. Speaker, it's also expected that when you punish perpetrators like this, Mr. Speaker, it was always expected that we would send a message to others. But like any other society, when you have a force of 120,000 police officers, you will find a small number of them, Mr. Speaker, violating the Constitution and the law. Mr. Speaker, Senator Mogeni, and I suspect I have answered this question, whether I had any responsibility, supervisory responsibility as part of the Security Council, and I said yes. Mr. Speaker, the only answer I gave that I didn't have an eye on, and I am not supposed to do, is to meddle on specific investigation. If I do so, it will reach a stage where a cabinet secretary will be picking people politically on who's to be charged and who's not be charged, and that is what the Constitution tried to remove from us. Mr. Speaker, on the question of Senator Wambua, I think generally I've also answered by the statement I made, except to add that, Mr. Speaker, I want to assure my friend Senator Wambua that I did demand answers from the Inspector General of Police. The only difference is that because I'm a cabinet secretary, I cannot demand in public. I cannot call a press conference to demand speedy investigation from the Inspector General or to request him to make sure that the people of Kenya get answers in good time. It is because we work together. I can give him a call and to tell him to speed up the process. And I think if you think that this is an issue that was reported on Sunday, and Mr. Speaker, today is Tuesday, the speed, Mr. Speaker, is commendable. And I believe that if the IPOA can move in the same speed, it should be in a few days, and I don't want to commit myself because they are independent. They should commit themselves to, in the shortest time possible, to make sure that that file is taken to the DPP office. I also agree with the sentiments from Senator Veronica Maina, Mr. Speaker, on the human rights. on the reform program, that it must continue. There is a team that is currently constituted in the ministry that is working on the reform program. I have also asked a team, my own team in my own office, to look at all the legislation on issues of abductions and extrajudicial killing, if there are also areas that we need to close the gap to make sure that at least internally from our police force, there is no possibility of any person involving themselves in that issue. And Mr. Speaker, if I get areas where it needs legislative reform, I will come back to this House for support. Mr. Speaker, I agree with her that in one way or another we must support Albert's family, and I hope that those who will be found culpable also will be held into account, Mr. Speaker, over and above us just supporting from as government, and also all of us who are sitting here, perhaps from our own calling and generosity. Mr. Speaker, there was also a suggestion from Senator Dulo that we may need to look at the use of the computer misuse law. Mr. Speaker, we were here, we debated this law, there were issues, it went to High Court, it went to Court of Appeal, where it is at the moment. Mr. Speaker, some of those issues, we can relook at them. Mr. Speaker, even the team that I've constituted in my office, I've told them to look at all the decisions of the courts, including Justice Ogola.